Hi guys. Here are some notes for section 5.5 today. As we've kind of done over the past few weeks or so, I'm going to do these in a different order. We will get to this problem, but we're going to start with the physical examples first, so just the plain examples without the words associated with them. All right, and we're going to go right here. We are going to be solving each system by substitution. So by system, we mean two or more equations. Substitution is the method that we're using. We've already used graphing, where we've graphed two lines and found out where those two lines intersect. We've also solved systems of inequalities by the shading. These are strictly equals here, so we're not going to get a whole area. You're going to get a single answer. Just an ordered pair is an answer. Now, when I do substitution, I tend to like to write the equations next to each other. So I'm going to write this first one, y equals negative 7x minus 19. And I'm going to put the other one over here. So we have 7x plus 5y equals negative 11. And since we're doing substitution, what we're going to do is we're going to take that y, which is negative 7x minus 19, and I'm going to substitute it into the other equation for that y. So we're going to take this, which is y, this negative 7x minus 19, and I'm going to put it over here in for that y. So we have now 7x plus 5y, but we're replacing y with this, so 5 times a negative 7x minus 19. That equals negative 11. Let's go ahead and distribute this 5 through. So we have 7x minus 35x, and then 5 times 19 is 95. That equals negative 11. We can combine some like terms here. 7x minus 35x is a negative 22x. Minus 95 equals negative 11. We're going to add 95 to both sides. If you need to write that under here, you can. That's going to give us a negative 22x equals, let's see, negative 11 plus a 95, that's 84. And then I'll divide out by a negative 22. And x does come out to be 84 divided, oops, did I do something wrong? I did. It's not 22x. Some of you guys are freaking out. It's not 22x, is it? I knew something wasn't right. Could you hear me pausing? It was bothering me. So, but that's okay. It's a negative 28. Negative 28. There we go. That makes more sense to me now. I knew what the answer was supposed to be, and it wasn't coming out that way, so I was bothered. Negative 3. Once you have x is negative 3, now you're going to take that answer, and you're going to plug it back over here into this y one, and we'll get y is negative 7 times that negative 3 minus a 19. And we just simplify over here. So we have 21 minus 19, or y equals 2. Your final answer, though, is an ordered pair. It is negative 3, 2, x, y. Here is your final answer. Everything else is just work. All right? Let's look at this next one. Again, I like to write them next to each other. So I'm going to do negative x plus a 2y equals negative 2. And then over here, I have a y equals 5x minus 19. Now let's take this 5x minus 19, which is equal to y, and we're going to put it over here into this equation for that y. So we have negative x plus 2y but y is 5x minus 19. That has to equal negative 2. And we just solved this equation now. We have all x's, so we just distribute that 2 through. We have negative x plus 10x minus 38 equals negative 2. And we have a negative x plus a 10x is 9x minus 38 equals negative 2. Add that 38 over. Add 38. So we get 9x is negative 2 plus a 38. That's 36, which means x is 4. Once you have that answer, now go back to the other equation over here. I'm a little bit out of space here, but we're going to get y equals 5 times 4. I don't want to put it up there. It's too tiny. Y equals 5 times 4 minus a 19. Y is 20 minus 19, or y is 1. Again, final answer is an ordered pair. It is 4, 1 right here. All right. Now, these two down here get a little bit tougher because if you look in each case, I do not have a y equals on anything. So we're going to have to get those into that form. So if I go write my equations, negative 3x minus 3y equals a negative 24, and x minus 4y equals negative 12. Well, we want to solve one of those equations, 4x or 4y. Any of them will do, but it's going to be much easier to solve this equation for x, since that x has a coefficient of 1. All we have to do then is to add 4y, and we'll have x equals, I like to put my variables first, 4y minus 12. Now, once you have this one solved for x, you can take this 4y minus 12 and you can put it over into the other equation for the x. So the first examples we did, we had y solved for. This one we happen to have x solved for. Same thing. You're substituting one equation in for another. So let's see. We have negative 3 times that x, but x is 4y minus 12 minus 3y equals a negative 24. Distribute through. We have negative 12y plus the 36 minus 3y equals negative 24. Let's go ahead and combine like terms. This negative 12y and that negative 3y is negative 15y plus a 36 equals negative 24. Minus the 36 from both sides. Negative 15y equals, let's see, negative 24 minus 36, negative 60. Divide out the negative 15. Ooh, I almost wrote next. Y is positive 4 here. Once you have y is 4, now take it back to the other equation that you had, which was right here, x equals 4y minus 12. And we're going to get x equals 4 times y, but y is 4, minus 12. X is 16 minus 12. X is 4. Final answer for 4. Looking at this next one, number 4. Let's write those two equations down. Let's see, 8x plus 4y equals 24. And the other one, x plus 6y equals 14. Again, you want to solve one of those equations either for x or for y. It will be much easier to solve this equation over here for x because it has a coefficient of 1. So let's just minus 6y to both sides. So we have x equals negative 6y plus a 14. Take that, and we're going to put it over here into this equation. But where do we put it in for? For the x or for the y? For the x, because it's x equals, which will give us 8 times a negative 6y plus 14. Don't forget this plus a 4y equals 24. Distribute through, negative 48y plus, 8 times 14. I do 8 times 10 is 80, and then 8 times 4 is 32. So 80 and 32 is 112, plus a 4y equals 24. Combining like terms, a negative 48y and a 4y is a negative 44y, plus 112 is 24. Subtract the 112. Minus 112, minus 112. That's ugly. I'm going to go over here to the side. 112 minus 24. We have to borrow. That's 8. 88. And it's negative. That'll give us, divide out the 44. Or the negative 44y is 2. Now I can take that y equals 2 and put it back into that purple equation up here. I'm out of space up there, so I'm going to come down here. X is negative 6 times 2 plus a 14. X is negative 12 plus 14. X is 2. So your final solution here, x comma y, 2 comma 2. Oops, can't see it. There we go. All right, so that's the mechanics of this. Now we can go back and we can look on this page and we can go back and talk about Carlos and Clarita needing to clean they need to clean the storage shed where they're going to board the pets. They have decided to hire a company to clean the windows. They will use the information they have collected to decide which company to hire. Sunshine Express window cleaners charges $50 for the service call, so just to come out your house, it's $50. Plus, they charge $10 per window. Painless, well, it's a pun on here because they spelled pain like a window pane instead of pain like sore pain, P-A-I-N. The window cleaners charges $25 for each service call plus $15 per window. All right, we got to write equations for the cost of each company. So let's do Sunshine Express. Let's see, they're going to charge $50 just to come out here. Plus, they charge $10 for a window. I don't know how many windows there are. Let's call it X. So plus 10X. That's their cost. I should probably put it in here. I'm going to move this. So Sunshine, I needed space. Their cost, y equals 50 plus 10x. Oh my, doesn't that look like slope-intercept form? Y-intercept is 50, slope is 10. All right, let's do painless window cleaners. So P, let's find their cost. Well, they charge $25 to come out. Only $25, but they do cost more per window. They cost $15 per window. So 15 times X, where X is the number of windows. All right, so there's our equations. But Carlos and Clarita want to know for how many windows would the cost of each company be the same. So we want to know when does the cost for Sunshine Express equal the cost for Painless. Okay, well, Sunshine Express is 50 plus 10x. When does that equal Painless, which is 25 plus 15x? And let's solve this equation. I like to move my x's first, so I'm going to minus 10x from both sides. And we're left with 50 equals 25 plus a 5x. I'm going to minus 25 from both sides. I'm out of space, so I got to come up here. And that's going to be minus 25. So 25 equals 5x. Divide out the 5, which means x equals 5. Okay, what did x represent again? It's the number of our windows. So this is for 5 windows. They will cost the same amount of money. If you have more or less windows, well, then you're going to want to investigate closer to figure out which one would be the better deal if you have more than 5 windows or fewer than 5 windows. All right, now, Carlos would like to find the coordinates of the points where the boundary lines for the pet sitter constraints intersect. He would like to do this algebraically using substitution, since he thinks that guessing from the graph could be less accurate, which a lot of times it is. And we saw that. It was sometimes when the lines intersect, they don't intersect at nice points. They intersect at weird spots. So we're going to go through and algebraically solve these by using substitution. Now, I know you don't have these equations memorized, and we're not going to take time to go back and look them up. I'm going to tell them to you. So we have our space and our startup costs. So the space cost, this one was 6x plus 24y equals 360. And our startup costs were 32x plus 80y equals 1,280. Oh boy. We're solving these by substitution, which means I need to solve one of these equations for x or for y. And it makes no difference which one you do. What do you say we come over here and let's solve for x? Let's solve for x. Okay, so that means I'm going to have to minus 24y to both sides. So we have 6x equals a negative 24y plus a 360. Now divide everything by 6. Everything by 6. Divide this side by 6 gives you x. Divide this by 6 gives us a negative 4y. Divide this one by 6 plus 60. All right. Now we've got that one solved for x, so we're going to go over to this other equation and we're going to put this part in for the x. Put that in for the x. And we will have 32 times negative 4y plus a 60 plus 80y equals 1280. Oh boy. We're going to need a calculator here to figure out some of this arithmetic. So we got to distribute this 32 through. And we need 32 times 4. We got 128. So that's negative 128y plus, now I need 32 times 60. I have 1,920. Plus that 80y equals 1,280. All right, let's combine some like terms here. I'm going to do a negative 128 and an 80. Negative 48 plus 1920 equals 1,280. Subtract that 1920. Is negative 640. Okay. Now we got to divide by a negative 48. Uh-oh. Here it is. It came out ugly at a negative 13.333333. Yuck. So what I would like to do instead is to write that as a fraction. So to use your calculator to get that to be a fraction, you can go to math, which is right here, and then number 1, which turns it to a fraction. Number 1, 40 over 3. Y is 40 over 3. We prefer that one, the improper fractions. All right, now once we have this, then we got to take it back over here and figure out what the x is. So we're going to have x equals negative 4 times 40 over 3 plus a 60. I do want to do this on a calculator because I want to save some time here. So we'll just type this in as it's written. So negative 4 times, we need a fraction. Remember, you're going to go to alpha F1, fraction, 40 over 3, and then plus 60. And it gives you a fraction right away, 20 over 3. So x equals 20 over 3. Oops, don't need a parentheses there. X equals 20 over 3, which means your final answer, the intersection point, is 20 over 3, comma, 40 over 3. That's not an 8, that's a 3. Phew! All right, one more. Now we got to do the same thing for feeding time and pampering time. It's pretty tiny in here. I hope I have enough space. So I might end up writing pretty tiny in here. So feeding, I'm going to give you that equation. That is 12x plus 20y equals 480. Pampering is, 16x, that's ugly. 16x plus 20y equals 480. Either one. Got to solve for x or solve for y. Let's come over here to this one and let's solve for y just to mix things up, because the last one we solved for x first. So this one, let's solve for y. So we're going to minus the 16x to both sides. 20y is negative 16x plus 480. Divide everything by 20. Uh-oh. This is negative 16 over 20 times x plus 480 over 20. Okay, we got to simplify these fractions. Oh no, 16 over 20. You can divide top and bottom both by 4, which gives you a negative 4 over 5. And 480 divided by 20, the zeros drop off, and we have 24. There's your y equals. All right, now let's take this is y, and we're going to plug that all the way over here for that y. I'm going to scooch over a bit so I have some room. So we have 12x plus 20 times negative 4/5 x plus 24 equals 480. We have to distribute that 20 through. You can either use your calculator or you can trust me that 20 times negative 4/5 x is going to be a minus 16. A minus 16x, and 20 times 24 is 480. Simplifying here, 12x minus 16x is a negative 4x plus 480. Subtract the 480. Negative 4x equals 0. Divide out the negative 4. We get, remember, 0 over a number. That's on, that's right on, that's way to go. Yes, we have it. So that is x equals 0. Once you have x equals 0, now you can go back over to the other equation, plug in the 0, and that'll give us y equals 24. 4/5 times 0 is 0, plus 24 is 24. So your final answer here, kind of squeezing it in, it is 0, 24. That's where those two intersect. Whew. All right, thank you very much for your attention. Your homework is a worksheet 5.5. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. See you tomorrow.